Welcome, I'm Bev Adams. I own an independent paper crafting business showcasing products from Stampin' Up! I made this cute little treat bag for Valentine's Day with products from Stampin' Up! I sell these products and also a few items to make crafting more convenient. I have the free detailed directions for this project on my website. You'll be able to click the links to be taken to my online store at Stampin' Up! You'll see where to find all of that at the end of the video. So don't worry about taking notes. It's time to put stamps, ink, and paper together. I'm using the Oval Occasions stamp set and the coordinating double oval punch. You can get them together as a bundle and save yourself 10%. I'll be using the Layering Circles die, the number 1 smooth die. I'll be using the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. You can use the larger one too if you'd like. My inks are Sahara Sand and Blushing Bride. I'll be using the paper trimmer and a hole punch. Mine is retired from Stampin' Up! I think it's the 1/8 inch circle punch. A standard 1/4 inch circle punch will work too. My Designer Series paper is Love You Always Specialty Designer Series paper. You'll want 2 different pieces that are 3 by 10 squared at 5. That will give you these little scraps. We're going to use one of these scraps. And you also need literally a scrap of Sahara Sand cardstock, some of the linen thread, and I'm using the gold 3/8 inch metallic edged ribbon. I'll be using dimensionals and mini glue dots. So we're going to just fold these on the score line. And with the paper trimmer and the fold side at the top, we're going to cut at 3/4 of an inch. You could really cut it anywhere, I think, but I'm cutting at 3/4 of an inch, and I want 3 1/4 inches. So I'm moving the blade to the 3 1/4 inch mark and cutting from here to the fold, moving it to 1.5 inches, and repeat that. And one more time, and this time I'm measuring from this side at 3/4 of an inch. That gives me these even pieces, and those slits are in the middle. On the other end, we're going to use our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I've got my messy plate on the bottom, my clean plate on the top, and it's probably best to do these one at a time. We're going to cut. We want to put our open end into the die, and it just barely fits. You want the cut on the edge of the paper, and then this plate is going to go down. You want that beveled edge to be right at the center of the circle, and that keeps this from cutting back this way. And roll it through. And so now we have this shape, and we'll repeat that with the other piece. And now we're going to do some weaving. This weaving looks like the same weaving we used to do as a child, but instead of going over under, we're going to go inside outside. So the first one, we're going to go with the pink inside, and then we're going to open that up and go outside. Inside and outside. And that first one is really pretty easy. Each time you want to go through, you want to open it up and make sure your pouch opens. The second strip goes outside. And now we're having to kind of go through here. So we kind of have to bend this up a little bit. Try not to fold it. And go inside. And outside. And inside. Double check to make sure we got them all. So far so good. Now you need to just kind of shimmy these down a little bit. Give yourself some space up here. Row 3, we need to go inside. So I think you see how this goes, but I do have to warn you that the closer you get to the end, the harder it is to kind of work your way. You want to be careful not to tear your paper as well. And then the last one is probably the hardest, so you want to, but the pattern is still the same, inside, outside. And when you check it out, it opens up nicely for a big pouch. I do recommend that you keep checking, because here's one I did earlier. Looks great. But when you try and open it, it gets stuck. And I made this error. So I would really have to start weaving all over again. So I just wanted to tell you it's much easier to check as you go than to have to undo it. If your paper is not real even, it might not lay down really flat, but if you work with it and just make sure all of your strips are even, it will flatten out. Then we want to punch the hole, and we want to kind of go through the middle of this square so you're not too close to any of the edges of the paper. And now is a great time to put your candies in. Of course, I'm shopping everything online or with Instacart, and I didn't plan these ahead. This is the candy I had. You might be able to find some candy that works just perfectly, color-wise. Or you could switch out your paper to be the same. But I do recommend designer series paper as opposed to cardstock. It'll make that weaving in and out easier. We're going to run the ribbon into those holes. Again, you want to do this after your candy is in. Not that it will be sealed. You can still get the candy in later if you want. And then bring it to the front and tie a bow. Then we want to add a little tag. So with the Sahara Sand ink, I'm stamping a little treat for you. And with the Blushing Bride, I'm stamping the hearts. And I'm kind of trying to go right under the words and get these up here. It's okay if you go over the words a little bit. It looks very dark, but as it dries, it will get lighter. And we're punching this up with the smooth oval. Let's see if I can get down. I didn't stamp close enough to the edge, so I'm going to just cut off a little strip. And punch that out. If you don't want to waste this, you can always reuse this, or also you can cut a strip of paper. If you cut a strip of paper, it doesn't have this space up here to get punched. And then we're using that scrap to punch the pink. If you want to punch your hole now, it will be way easier. I just realized I wanted some contrast, so I can either retie this bow on the other side, or I can swap the background out for this one, which I think is what I'll do. So learn from my mistakes. An easy fix. And it's actually wanting to stay up there all by itself, so that's great. But if yours doesn't, a little glue dot will do the trick. A quick and easy project for you. You can whip out a bunch of these for Valentine's, even though it's almost that day already. Happy Valentine's Day. Here is the web address for this project, where you'll find the free detailed directions and links for the products I used. Just click the links and you'll be taken to my online store at Stampin' Up! Also on my website, you'll find a shop button. Under shop, you'll find products from Bev, shopping strategies, frequent shopper points, a link to my online store at Stampin' Up! When you click products from Bev, you'll find information about sharing my current products notebook in Evernote, and taggers. I started making taggers when all of those layering shapes came out, and it was so hard for me to figure out which one I used and how to tell somebody else which one I used. So I made taggers. Each tagger has the name of the dies, the item number, how many in the set, and each tagger has the size of that shape. I also sell my cardstock sampler, fine tip glue pen replacement tips, and large and small reclosable bags that I use for designer series paper, both the 6x6 and the 12x12. And I have a link for my friend's bow maker. Under inspiration, you can scroll my projects, look at the latest post, find out about the basics, which I've designed especially for new stampers, and techie tips. Under getting organized, you'll find links to stamp case slips, product labels, large labels, case inserts, ink refill cases, lots of coloring tools, a stamp pad storage solution for practically no money, catalog tabs, a quick reference, and a wish list with the catalog index, directions for my basic toolkit to go and my compact desktop toolbox, I have so many people looking for my Evernote current products notebook that I have a new tab just for that. You can find out how to share my searchable catalog. You can go to SIP Together and you can find out how to join my team so that you can either save money or make money. Thank you for stopping by. Talk to you soon.